Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be doing a tutorial on the Snatcher Bag Skip, and the first question you might have is, if this is a tutorial on Bag Skip, which is in Subcon, what am I doing in the Alpine Skyline Telescope? Well, to put it simply, this is the best place to practice one of the parts of Bag Skip, in my opinion. So Bag Skip has 4 different parts: climbing the tree at the start, doing a momentum-conserving double jump, climbing onto the branch, and jumping over the volume that actually has the bag. So for the momentum-conserving double jump, I believe this is the best area you can practice it in the game. If you don't have a file that has Birdhouse unlocked, or Alpine Skyline at all, I'll leave one in the description, or you could also just get here yourself if you don't want to download one. So basically you want to get up here like I did, or yeah. And this jump right here is only, well, it's doable with the regular SDJ, which is a sprint double jump, but I would recommend doing it with a momentum conserving double jump just to practice it for a bag skip, and also it's more consistent in my opinion. So allow me to explain what those terms mean. So a sprint double jump is when you're running, you let go sprint, and then you press jump within 1 to 3 frames of letting go sprint. You want to aim for 1 frame, but sometimes 3 frames works. I'll leave a link in the description to a pastebin that explains it much more thoroughly and in-depth for a sprint double jump. But the gist of it is you just want to be sprinting, you let go sprint, and you immediately press the jump button after you let go. That's the gist of it. Now, a few important things. Like I said, you want to be running before you do it. So, if you're not at full speed before you try to do the SCJ like that, you'll still get a sprint double jump, but it won't be at full speed. So that's why you sometimes think you get like a half SCJ. It doesn't really exist. It just takes whatever your speed is before your jump, and it conserves it. Another thing is, if you try to do it off the ground, or like off of an edge, and you're already off the edge when you let go and jump, then you won't actually conserve any speed. All your speed has been lost. You're not conserving anything. Right there I did it before I jumped off, right there after I jumped off, and you can see the difference in speed. So you want to make sure that your character is on the ground when you perform the SDJ or the momentum conserving jump. Now onto the actual momentum conserving double jump, which is also called a momentum SCJ or a momentum jump. Now, this is basically doing an SCJ as soon as you land from a jump. This is useful when the platform you want to SCJ off of is too small to get max speed on it alone. So if I was on a platform that was about the size of these crow's hats, I would actually only be able to get that much speed. I would only be able to run for that long, so I wouldn't actually reach max speed. Instead, what I could do is sprint jump onto the platform, which already gets me full speed from the sprint jump, and then land, run for like a few frames on the platform, and then perform an SCJ, or perform the same inputs as an SCJ to get the momentum conserving double jump. Yeah, so basically it's just as you land, you perform an SCJ. That is essentially the momentum conserving double jump. Now I'll show what that looks like here. Oh, I messed it up. Jeez. Right there. That's what it looks like. And I like this area to practice it because not only is it easy to tell that you made it, because you need an SDJ to get here, so if you made it here, you know you did it right. But also, it's easy to practice it a lot because you can just take this zip line back and jump over here and do it again. And another important part about the jump is you want to get max height jumps. So from your first jump, you want to hold, obviously you want to hold jump. Don't just tap it. You want to hold jump, and then don't double jump until you've reached the apex of your first jump and your character is like about to start falling. At that point you can start your double jump. which again you want to hold your double jump, you don't want to just tap it. Let me show it one more time. Boom. And yeah, this is a very good spot to practice momentum-conserving double jumps. With that said, let's move over to the actual bag skip. Alright, so here we are in contractual obligations, and you may notice that I'm on a file that has the red wall still up, so I have not completed contractual yet on this file. I think this is important for practice, because part of the skip will actually be affected by whether or not this wall is up. You'll actually have, during the actual skip, you have half of the volume that we're going to momentum-conserving double jump off of that you would normally have without the, or that you would have without the wall up. But in normal circumstances where you want to do the skip, the wall will still be up, so better to practice it like this. Now the first part of bag skip is climbing the tree at the start. That's this tree right here. You don't have to climb all the way up, only a certain distance or a certain height up. So you want to double jump in the water like that. This is the fastest way. Oh god. Not the way I usually do it, but this is how most runners do it. It's the fastest way. Just like that. And you don't get as many pawns as you can, but it is the fastest way to get up here. Then you want to jump onto this branch. Boom, and that's the first part of the skip. Now, once you get on this branch, you'll usually be looking like this way. You can align yourself, like, with a jump, double jump here, but I think that's just too slow. Like, you don't really need to align that precisely for the trick to work. All you have to do is be looking like in the general direction of the skip, which is that way. So just turn yourself like slightly that way, like this works. Even that previous angle, like that would work. This would work too. It doesn't really matter as long as you're looking like kind of in that way. I'll do it from here, for example, like that. So once you're here, you want to hold sprint, you want to jump, and then we'll hold jump, and then you want to press forward after you jump. So just to be clear, you want to sprint jump in neutral, and then hold forward. After that, we're going to jump off of this branch right in front of us, that one right there. We're going to try to edge jump off of that, so like a little bit off of the branch. Still holding sprint the whole time. And then we want to land on that tree just behind the branch, the top of that tree. Now the firewall, you can't see it. Let me try to get over there. Boom, that's the first part of it. This tree actually has the firewall cutting through half of it, which is why I think it's important that you practice with the wall up, because I actually can't walk right here, whereas with the wall down I can go a little bit more right. So this tree, actually the texture doesn't properly show where you can walk on it. You can walk probably up to here. Oh shit. Yeah, like this whole area you can walk on. So we're gonna make use of that extra area that you can't see. So you're gonna want to try to get as close to this edge as possible before you do the momentum jump. The momentum-conserving double jump, I should say. So we're gonna land on this tree. We're gonna run for like a frame, maybe two, maybe none, and then we're gonna let go of sprint and perform the momentum jump. Now, the reason I like to use this extra ground we have here is to just like get a bit more distance, because you do need quite a bit of distance to make that jump, and also it lets you kind of redirect your angle just slightly towards the branch. So then you'd waste as little momentum as possible changing your angle towards the branch. Okay, now I'm gonna show, I'm gonna show this, and then I'll explain the part after that, which is climbing on. I'll explain that from the actual branch that we're gonna climb onto. It'll probably be easier that way. Okay, so you may have noticed right there, for climbing onto the branch, which is the third part. So far we've done the first 2 parts, climbing up the starting tree, and then doing the momentum-conserving double jump. And then right here I climbed onto the branch. That's the third part. This is, in my opinion, the most tricky part. You want to aim for... I wish I could show it better, but like this little section right here between the branch and the actual trunk. So you don't want to aim for the branch. If you aim for the branch, you won't climb it and you'll just fall. If you aim for just the middle of the trunk, you'll climb it, but you won't land on anything. So again, you'll just not make it. If you aim for like between, then either you'll do what I just did, which is optimal, which is your character climbs up, and then you'll notice like an animation of them moving forward. If you see that animation and they move forward, then don't press R, don't press jump, just let them drop down onto the branch and you'll make it. If you're slightly more left than I was, and you see your character like climb up the left side, or like just left of where I am, but not too far left, then you might be able to press R to drop off of the wall and hold your direction towards this branch, and then you may be able to make it. I'll show a clip of that. Okay, that right there. I was climbing up the left side, so I didn't move forward at all, but I moved up the tree, and I was close enough to the right side that I could just drop off with the R button and hold towards the branch and fall onto it. So either one of those outcomes, where you aim properly and you just kind of climb onto the branch, which is what I showed earlier, or you climb up like I just did right now and you press R and land on the branch. Either of those is fine. The tree is really wonky. I wish I could show you the textures of it, like the actual model, but I personally don't even know it because there's no known dev code to show it. But it's very complex. So you want to aim for one of those parts of the tree, where you either climb onto the branch or you can press R to drop onto the branch. And basically, the part that I would focus on practicing for bag skip is recognizing whether you need to press R or you need to press nothing. I think that is the hardest part of bag skip and what you need to practice the most. Now, we've done 3 parts. The hard part's done. We've climbed the tree, we've done the momentum-conserving double jump over here, and we've climbed onto this branch. Now, let me show you the volume that we're trying to get over. That green, like, kind of rectangle there that goes down into that circular thing down there, that is the volume we're trying to get over. If you touch that rectangle at all, or I guess that rectangular prism at all, then you will be dragged down into that little circle and put in the bag. If you press show volumes and you see that this rectangle actually goes up infinitely, then you're on the current version of the game and you want to switch over to version 1.0, which you can do by going to the Steam Betas tab and opting into the 1.0 beta. But anyway, we want to get over this, and how you do that is either double jumping over it, which is really easy, or sprint jumping over it. Personally, I always double jump just because, like, there's no reason to take the risk to save like a few frames. If you mess up, then I don't know, you'll waste a lot of time. It kills the run if you mess up. But I'll try to show the sprint jump here because it is slightly faster. So basically, you just sprint off, do that. Yep, and you make it. You can also dive cancel if you think you're not going to make it with just the sprint jump dive. But that's it. That's the whole trick. And you can you can see that I'm not trolling you. The thing is here. If I move here, I will be sucked into it. So yeah, that's the entirety of bag skip. You just first you climb the tree, then you do the momentum-conserving double jump over to the branch, and then you jump over the trigger. And now you know.